you don't exist. Take a perk and a talk of that shit. Money swallowed like sis. Did it perfect in the kid. Got a billion who sang on my head. Look at better put on the road I just spent. I know we got $1 million. The devil that shit ain't not cheap again.
Hello and welcome back, fellow anime lovers, to MangaMuse. I am delighted to have you join us once again in the world of fanfiction and fantasy. This is the first part of What If Naruto Enters Hazbinhotel. Special note, this fanfic is written in a masterpiece of Crowfeast on FANFICTIONnet. Do check and support the author too. Now smash the like, share and subscribe button for more. Also press the bell icon so that you never miss such great parts. Thanks for the introduction. Now let's dive into the world. Happy Hotel's guardhound. Hell, they say almost everyone ends up down there these days. From the lowest of low to the morally betrayed. From those that were saints in a previous life and were doing what was best for everyone in the long run to those that just didn't care and committed cruel acts for the fun of it. Our protagonist thought as he jumped from a BLD-coated building rooftop to the one next to it, keeping his eyes open for a certain someone. But even when this happens, the purge happens to help clean up the lost souls in hell and lessen their population every year. Quite honestly, it got to the point that certain events were unfolding to help lessen the annual purge and hopefully giving people some hope. The streets on which he gazed upon were layered with body parts and soaked in BLD. Demons of all classes, except royals and those of a similar nature, were helping in the cleanup since the angels left after making this giant mess. The ears of our protagonist twitched as he heard a familiar sound, causing him to look up the road to see a crappy car pulled up to the side of the street, and out came a sexy individual. This person had 4 arms, white fur skin, a bosom with great appeal with a white and pink top that adds more attention to his chest. The man had long boot-like heels on his feet and carried himself as the definition of sexy. However, one of the most notable traits about him were his eyes. One was red with black background and the other was red with a white background. His hair had pink highlights to complement his white fur and a heart on the back of his head. This was Angeldust, a well-known pawn star in hell. And I found Angel, and he has just sold himself for cash. The protagonist thought with a mental face palm and an audible sigh before he jumped from the building, landing on the ground safely. So, make sure your wife knows I appreciate the cash, Angeldust replied as he stuffed the cash into his bosom. Yeah, redeeming yourself my ass. The demon inside the car rolled his eyes. Hey, he was horny and his wife was not wanting to give him any. So, a couple bucks for a roll with this idiot was more than worth getting his rocks off. Angel smiled watching the car pull away, and he blew a kiss its way while pulling the cash out to count it, making sure his lapse in his rehab was worth it. Man, I really need this. My reputation was about to take a hit. Angel thought before he walked up to a machine and was about to put the money in until he heard a cough and froze. You know Charlie would mangle you for going back on your treatment, right? Slowly turning his head, Angel smiles fearfully. Hey Naruto, how's it going, man? Standing there was our protagonist. Naruto was a man that was about 6-7 inches, but he was more distinct than Angel. Where Angel was a spider-themed demon, Naruto was a hellhound. Like most hellhounds, resembled a wolf with white and gray fur, a wild spiky mane that was bright yellow going down his back, and a long muzzle showing a frown. He wore no shoes showing off his digitigrade stance legs, having clawed feet along with his claws on his hands being razor sharp and black. Naruto's ears were sticking straight up showing the inside of them being white, with the left ear having the tip missing due to him losing it a long time ago. His long bushy tail swayed safely above the ground. His outfit choice is consisting of him wearing a black and gray skull shirt with a pentagram on the back, tight-fitting black jeans, and an orange watch. No one knows why he wore the watch, but his only response is, "It is a bit nostalgic from a life I lost." Everyone knew better than to push the subject after that point. But the most distinct feature that drew in Angel's attention to tell him his mood at this time were his eyes. Unlike most hellhounds, Naruto didn't have the red eyes they are accustomed to but instead blue eyes. One could see the slits inside of them and the power that dwelled underneath them. Come on man, Angel waved his hands around. You're really going to stop me now from getting a buzz. I mean Charlie does that already, and with the Mexican Cyclops there, it is even more condemning. Naruto sighed as he shook his head at Angel's remarks. Look, I get they can be suffocating at times, but they really do want better for you. If you actually talk to them about things, we might reach some compromises. Naruto offered as he looked at the spider. Yeah, right. Angel scoffed, one of his right hands pushing his hair out of his eyes. A small growl made Angel wave his hands in a slight panic. Okay, but what am I supposed to do about this? Angel stated as he waved the cash around. You know, the minute I show up and show this, they'll know what I did. Naruto rubbed the back of his head. Look, chill, you had said it's not that big of a deal. They'll be mad, yeah, but they aren't going to tear your head off for one slip-up. Naruto smiles slightly. Plus, we both know that cutting off completely from vices in hell is one hell of an order. Angel smiled as he let out a hearty laugh. DMN right, I just needed something to take off the edge. Oh, Naruto pulled out an orange phone from his pants and scrolled down on a blog site. You mean you didn't want to argue against some of these posts then? Naruto turning his phone around and Angel looked at the screen. It showed messages on him disappearing and how he is seemingly going straight, cleaning up his act and not giving out his services. Angel's face scrunched up in disgust and fear. Of course, Valentino is sharing this information. Angel thought, thinking of the man he called Daddy scared him, all the while his anger growing at the damage his reputation was taking from this. I can't waste this chance to go straight, but my rep being tarnished is not something I'll allow. Angel returned his attention to Naruto as the hellhound looked at him. Yeah, that might have influenced my decision more. Angel huffed slightly. Naruto shook his head and scrolled through the phone some more before pulling up something and showing it to Angel. What? Just watch, dumbass. Okay, geez, a flea crawled. Naruto gave him a dark look and smile. Finish that sentence, I dare you. Angel held his hands up. Who was he to piss off someone that was raising the status of hellhounds in hell? Looking at the screen, he saw it was Charlie, the princess of hell. Cell phone. I am Katie Killjoy, and today we have a special guest, Charlotte Magni, the daughter of our head honcho. Katie said as she oozed irritation into her voice. So, Charlotte, what is this passion project you are so passionate about? Charlie, actually, Charlie said nervously as she looked from Katie to the camera. As you know, we just had our annual purge, but as I was born here, I can't help but feel sad at the loss of life. Katie rapped her fingers against the desk as Tom Trench listened politely, but apprehensively. So, after many years of watching my people get slain to make room here in hell, I have come up with a solution. Charlie said passionately, glancing to something or someone off the screen, smiling. I have devised a way to help redeem people to go to heaven. Angel and Naruto witnessed Charlie show off her singing talents as she sang about the happy hotel. She really likes to sing, even though it doesn't make her seem mature. Angel replied as he tried to hide the fact that he liked the song. Shut up and watch. Naruto continued as he held the phone before them. Witnessing Katie and Tom along with the crowd burst into laughter at Charlie's idea of rehabilitation. Naruto frowned at the words Katie said to Charlie, but felt happy when Charlie let out her sass. We have one participant, someone known as Angeldust, Charlie said as she sat on the desk fashionably. You mean the Pawn Star? Tom asked in excitement. You effing would, Tom. Katie insulted as she turned her gaze toward her co-host before it returned to Charlie. Not much of a jump for your plan. You could pay that hoker to do anything with enough cocaine and lube. Charlie huffed, standing up and staring Katie in the eyes. Angel has been doing well the past 2 weeks. He has started to get his act together and has been clean for 2 weeks, she stated confidently. While Angel did feel a swell of pride in the fact that he made Charlie happy, there was another part that argued he shouldn't have to make anyone happy but himself. Seeing the conflicting emotions in Angel's eyes, Naruto turned the phone away. Angel, don't you see? Charlie believes you can do better than this. Why do you think she got you out of there, out of that man's grasp? Naruto said, trying to urge Angel down a better path. Angel looked at the ground and felt bad. He was taking advantage of Charlie's generosity, all so he can live rent-free at the hotel. While it was true, he could get a room with anyone desperate enough. He knew it was not long-term. He would be used and abused again and kicked to the curb at some point and found by Valentino. At least Charlie was trying to be there for me rather than having me be there for her. Angel thought as it was refreshing, but his ego wouldn't allow it to show. Plus, she got me out from service with Valentino, so that was more than enough for me to try her whole redemption. Yeah well, Angel blew his hair out of his face again. I can't exactly do what she wants me to the letter. I mean giving up everything. He wringed his hair in frustration. It is just against everything I know. Naruto shook his head. Then tell her this. Don't be vague and rude. Actually tell her this. Then maybe you guys can come to some compromises about what needs to be done for you to commit to the hotel, he said as he put his hand on Angel's shoulder in a comforting manner. Yeah, Angel started to say before an explosion goes off and the two of them look up and see a blimp flying around and someone laughing in the distance. Naruto groaned as he rolled his eyes at the blimp. That snake pee-pee head that for some reason has an obsession with eggs, maybe because he lost his balls, is causing trouble again. Naruto said before turning to the side he saw someone throwing bombs and shooting at the blimp. And your girlfriend seems to be having your battle with him. Really, Cherry Bomb? Angel exclaimed in happiness. Time to have some fun then. Naruto pointed a claw finger at him, aiming it at his eye. You are not going to do a DMN thing. He glared and Angel glared back. Why not? Simple. Charlie is doing that interview on the news, and while I don't think hell will take her serious like her father didn't, you acting out and getting caught on camera won't help at all. Naruto argued convincingly. The hotel will be seen as a bigger joke, and that is something I won't allow. You're just... Naruto grabbed him by the front of his jacket and growled with his eyes glowing. Do I look like I'm joking? Furry pawn advertisement? Naruto growled, baring his fangs at the spider, who pushed off of Naruto. No, but you can't expect me to let my best friend possibly die out there on her own, Angel demanded. Naruto could not believe the things coming out of Angel's mouth. She is as strong as an overlord, isn't she? She can handle herself. It is not the first time she took down that idiot on her own. Naruto replied. Angel looked and saw Cherry dodging attacks and bombs going off all over the place as the egg boys attacked her. Naruto, please. Angel begged as he grabbed Naruto's jacket. She is strong, but I don't want to let the chance of her being killed happen. The young man looked and saw the spider demon pleading, DMN his bleeding heart, he really should charge for this. Charlie will kill me for this, Naruto thought as he removed Angel's hands from his clothing. Head down the effing street, the limo is waiting for you. Get in and head to the hotel and I'll try to cover your fug up here today. Naruto stated as he prepared himself for the fight and then disappointment that he would receive from Vaggie and Charlie. What? But what? Angel saw Naruto turn to the fighting and start walking to it. Charlie is going to kill me for this later, but at this point if it means that much to you, I'll help her out. Naruto said in a rare tone of compassion. But this means you have to commit to the program and talk to Charlie about compromises, got it? Angel smiled as a massive amount of relief washed over him. While he knew that he was making an excuse, it was nice to see the young hellhound that scared him when he first came to the hotel and did try to bed. What, don't blame him, he is cute. Has a good heart in a place like hell. Fine, just make sure Cherry is okay, Angel said before he sauntered over to the limo, missing the sign Naruto released. I really need to start charging more for SHT like this. Naruto mumbled before he stretched his legs a bit before taking a running start as he jumped toward the carnage. News studio. Vaggie was watching things unfold. Quite honestly, it was worrying. I had thought with the turf war going on, Angel would F this up for us. Vaggie thought as she glanced toward her phone, keeping an eye on the turf war. But there are no reports about him in it, so the hotel is safe. Vaggie looked up and saw Katie insulting Charlie's dream, which she had been doing for roughly 10 minutes, with Charlie responding back with anger incrementally getting worse. Oh yeah, and the reporter is a beach that I would strangle, but it looks like Charlie might do that for me, Vaggie thought as she frowned, her head bow sharpening and looking like curved horns. Oh yeah, princess, I'm not surprised you are using Angel like this. She smiled darkly and Charlie raised an eyebrow at this. I mean, we all know how you royals exploited the hellhound race in the past. How can you talk about reformation when you are using one of their own to safeguard your little place? Pontificating all that rehab bullshit while repeating the work of your ancestors. How shameful. Charlie, in a lapse of judgment, transformed slightly. Her horns revealed and sclere becoming reed, and without warning slammed the reporter's head into the desk, breaking it on impact. Don't you dare speak of him like some kind of pet again. I'll make sure I tear your soul to pieces. Turning to the camera crew, she gave them an evil eye, enticing someone in the back with a smile on his face and his red eyes focused on the debacle. It was the funniest thing he had seen in ages. That pet, as you call him, is someone very special and someone that is worthy of praise, unlike you, Beach. More, he has done great things in hell on his terms. Charlie continued, having lost sight of her goal. The news soon motioned to Katie, which she saw them waving. Pressing her finger against her headset in her ear, she received a message and smiled. Oh, your dear pet is causing a scene today. Snapping her fingers, the group turned the screen and showed a hoodie-covered hellhound running across the roof, dodging blasts and bombs being thrown at him, along with a Cyclops woman with bombs in her hand. Live. The hellhound who unified the hounds, who is now serving the Magni family, seems to be battling it out with a resident genius, Serpentius. Tom announced as the station ignored Charlie's segment as they focused on the turf war. OSHT, Charlie and Vaggie said in shock as they watched Naruto on the screen dodge a blast coming his way and sliced through an egg boy that was heading straight for him. Another demonstration of your reform act, dear princess? Katie asked with sick malicious enjoyment as Charlie's flame of anger died. Charlie sighed, embarrassment and worry on her face as she saw Naruto chomp down into an egg boy, its yolk center bursting in his mouth before catching an explosion tossed to him by Cherry Bomb, hurling it with enough force to break through the steel hub of the blimp, detonating upon impact. On the contrary, he is more about doing his own thing. After all, he is free to do what he wants if it falls into his beliefs, and most likely he is helping out this woman as a request. Charlie stated as she regained her confidence. Don't forget that, or do. After all, you seem to forget what true beauty is, Beach. This angered Katie, making Tom fearful, but then they hear an explosion and crash. Turning their heads back to the screen, Naruto is standing over the remains of the blimp that had fallen to the ground, and out came Serpentius. Pentius charged at Naruto, who dodged his attack with a simple side step and cut him with his claws. The snake growled and lashed out again, but sadly failed when he disappeared in a flash of silver and appeared above him. Eat SHT, snake freak. The audience watched, and his body glowed red with his eyes now turning red. Quick, record this. This is historic moment in seeing the legendary royal hellhound using his powers, Katie shouted loudly. Charlie watched, and her eyes twitched. You're going to be getting an earful when I get home, Charlie thought as she sat in anger. Idiot. Charlie is going to be really mad about this, Vaggie thought as she shook her head. Meanwhile, I just want to finish this SHT up quick before it becomes a spectacle again, Naruto thought as he was drenched in BLD and egg yolk, which was starting to stink and hurt his sense of smell. Within seconds, he slashed his red claws and caused the snake to scream in pain and explode in a shower of BLD and guts. Naruto just rolled his shoulders, turned his head to Cherry. I'll charge you for my services at a later time, Naruto said to his loose acquaintance before jumping away to head back to the hotel. Okay, nah, Cherry replied with a massive smile as she watched Naruto leave. Now, to stake my claim on this turf. Back in the news studio. Well, there you have it, demons and hellborn. We have just witnessed another case of the legendary hellhound that has taken hell by storm. Dating back to when he was 13, he started taking down powerful figures through hell until at the age of 16 he became an uncrowned overlord after killing the former overlord Apios, the Ape King. Katie announced, the news station ignoring Charlie completely. He is leading the reform and increasing of hellhound status in hell, and becoming one of the premier demons to anyone that kills will gain massive following and support for the coming years. Not only voted Bachelor of the Year for 6 years running, but he is known as the princess's personal attack dog. Charlie, tired of hearing this, finally transforms completely and without warning, jumps Katie and pushes her into the wall, cracking it. He is not my dog. He is not my pet. He is my son, you cunt, Charlie shouted without warning. She throws Katie across the room, causing a massive fight for an hour before Charlie and Vaggie stomped out of the building. The hotel will not be targeted for this mess, But this whole mess had Angel's name on it, that much is sure. Vaggie told Charlie, holding her hand as they made it to the limo. And that stupid hound is attached to this mess too. For F's sake, killing Penchas was not a good example of your dream, Vaggie shouted as she stepped into the limo. That night, happy hotel foyer. Really, son, did you have to do that on live TV during the announcement? Charlie asked Naruto, who was sitting on his haunches with a small note that said punishment on it. Well, I was wearing a hoodie to hide my identity, Naruto replied before Charlie glared at him. That did SHT to hide it, Charlie replied hotly, taking a deep breath. Geez, calm down, it was better me doing it than Angel right, Naruto said, drawing attention to Angel who was walking through the foyer of the hotel at that moment. The spider demon froze when Charlie turns her eyes on him and glares. He gulps while Vaggie is playing with her spear. Oh, and what was he doing out of the hotel? Naruto rolled his eyes and pulled out his phone and fiddled with it while Angel sweated at the attention. I might have had a moment of weakness and had some segs and bought some drugs, Angel admitted nervously. Charlie sighed while Vaggie growled. You effing moron. Do you know what that could do the hotel, especially during the broadcast? It would have made us a effing joke, you bastard, Vaggie shouted angrily as she summoned her spear. Naruto rolled his eyes and grabbed Vaggie by the shoulder, keeping a tight grip on her as his eyes stayed on his phone. Calm down, Vaggie, it is not like most wouldn't take the hotel serious to begin with. I mean, most denizens were not going to take us serious anyway, but at least this way we can cover up for Angel being out and say that it was a free day during his rehab and that he was taking advantage of it or something. Naruto typed something into his phone. We can save face that way, and plus me fighting the stupid snake idiot and killing him sends a message clear to the overlords and alike that this hotel is no easy target, and unless they are here for treatment, we'll send them packing. Yeah, but... Hey, everyone turned to Angel who sighed. Look, I'm sorry I did what I did, okay? Naruto already lectured me about it, and quite honestly, I understand my F-up was due to my ego and years of abuse. But you two can't expect me to quit every effing thing cold turkey. That is how you send your body into shock. Charlie, having calmed down quite a bit, took a seat on the couch, to which Angel sat in a lounge chair across from her. Go on, Charlie urged, willing to listen to Angel. I know it was a lot to ask, but you have to understand, Angel, we need to start somewhere, and you have to be willing to comply. Naruto rolled his eyes, this same conversation. Charlie really wants her way no matter what. How very demon of her, and that is something I am familiar with given it was the same way when she found me, Naruto thought with a smile, which held fondness and disdain. Flashback. Naruto, age 6, was searching through some garbage cans for food at an alley entrance between two apartment buildings. He was hungry, and it has been 2 days since he ate, and even then, it was not very much. The tip of his left ear was missing, his fur coated in BLD crust as the wound was infected, and he wore rags that barely covered his body. How long have I been here? Naruto thought as he looked around him in paranoia as he continued to search for food, his tail between his legs shaking in fear. I guess that since I was sent to this place, that the village was right, I am a demon. The first moment he opened his eyes in this world, in a hellhound orphanage in the outer edge of the Ring of Gluttony, Naruto was informed that he was told a hellhound no less. They are seen as lower than other demons, so he is seen as trash or something to train and discipline. Well, the matron running the orphanage learned quickly he is not like most even with his blue eyes, which other hellhounds told him would make him valuable to someone in the business of hiring and alike. Naruto was introduced to other hellhound children of various ages, and due to his eyes, Naruto was bullied. The matron did not stop the violence the children inflicted onto him, and in a fit of rage Naruto killed the matron, which earned him praise from the other children since they just stole her stuff and started living there while Naruto walked away, not wanting to have his life tied to the place. While he had thought he could maintain his life alone, hell proved him wrong at every turn. The strongest case of him not being able to survive was the fact he witnessed the purge, only living due to curling into a ball under dead bodies, holding his breath when angels were nearby playing dead, leading to his current predicament. That happened once, and I'm not going to go through that mess again, Naruto thought as he was hit on the head with a full garbage bag, courtesy from someone in the building tossing their trash from the 4th story. The bag split open and revealed half-eaten food and fruits. Without hesitation, Naruto grabbed what he could and started to shove it into his mouth. I'm going to die here, he thought, forgetting he had already died once, and it was why he was here. As he continued to scarf down the food, his ears twitched as he heard a screech, and turning his head out of the can he saw a white limo. It had stopped next to the alley entrance, and he was confused for a second and prepared to run. A while ago, some weirdos had tried to capture saying he make an excellent pet. Whatever he meant, he was sure it had something to do with him losing his identity, and he said F that noise. Luckily, he was like most men and one kick to the balls, and he is down for a bit so he can run. The limo door opened and out came a white-skinned girl with blonde hair and gold eyes. She seems to have a smile on her face and gave off a powerful aura. She was dressed in a purple dress that hugged her figure, and she had things on her cheeks and fangs in her mouth. She walked up to him with a smile on her face, squatting down to his level to get a good look at him. Yes, Naruto asked, ready to attack swiftly and then flee if the need was necessary. Naruto glared at the girl, but in seconds he found himself held under his armpits in front of her. Aren't you just adorable? She hugged him tightly, making him squeak from the pain and feeling his ribs crack. BB breath. Oh sorry, she held the child at close to her but loosened her grip. I've never seen a hellhound like you before. One with blue eyes, I mean. She tapped his nose, making him growl, making her giggle before she saw his left ear. Oh, your ear is bleeding, and it is probably infected. Could you please put me down? Nope. Without waiting, she walked back to her car and sat down in her seat. Xavier, take me home. This little one needs a bath, some medical treatment, and some grooming. Naruto raised an eyebrow. What is she going on about? I didn't agree to this. Yes, my lady. My lady? Naruto thought in paranoia, staying as far from this woman as possible after she let him go inside the limo, but could not get out due to the child lock being on. After a bit of a drive, Naruto found himself being carried into the house. He tried to jump out of the car when the door was opened, but she caught him quickly and kept him on her lap the entire time. This annoyed him as it seemed she was stronger than expected. Upon looking up, he saw a castle of some kind and sitting almost at the center of a large city shaped like a pentagon. Looking at the building, he could sense the place has great importance and that the girl lived here. Something of an instinct, and the fact they stopped in front of the house might have given that away for him. Walking into the house, the girl carried him in her arms before maids and butlers alike with varying forms bowed and welcomed the girl home, Charlie from what he gathered. She is a noble, Naruto thought. Remembering the rumors he heard in the orphanage about nobles was not pleasing, especially since some of them saw his kind, trash demons, as nothing more than toys for their own amusement. What does this beach want with me? A pet? Force me to fight? Torture me? All right, first I'll bathe you, and then I'll take you to meet my parents, Charlie declared as she pulled him toward the large bath. Naruto looked up at her with a blank expression, which hid his confusion. When did I agree to this? Naruto demanded, speaking after so long and trying to sound intimidating. She smiled and hugged him closer. Oh, you're so precious and cute. I can't wait to see what kind of demon you'll turn into in the future. Oh, maybe one day you can help me with my dream, Charlie said with stars in her eyes. Naruto tuned her out at this point as she seemed to be rambling about different things here and there, and some stuff related to this dream of hers. Honestly, I just wanted to eat and find somewhere safe to sleep, Naruto thought before Charlie handed him to a servant before he entered the large bath and was stripped out of his rags and put in warm water. His bristled fur was given a hard scrubbing, and having CRP put into his face he never smelled before. After a few minutes he was dropped on the floor and dried off to the point that he was sure that his fur never felt this clean. So soft and fluffy, Naruto thought for the first time since he came to hell, as the servant who helped bathe him applied ointment and bandaging to his left ear, while a female servant appeared with some clothes. Naruto was then put in a white t-shirt and some shorts before Charlie walked into the room. Oh, look at you all cleaned up and tidy. Now come on, I want to introduce you to Mom and Dad, Charlie said as she extended her hand toward him. Naruto raised an eyebrow, staring at her hand like it was dangerous. What? What the hell is with this beach? Naruto thought as he slowly took her hand, his chest becoming tight as many of his beliefs were being challenged. She is a royal, but she isn't hurting me. Why does she remind me of old man Hawkage? While in his thoughts, Naruto was guided into a massive room that was a throne room of some kind, and sitting there were the king and queen of hell. Lucifer Magni had pure white skin, blonde hair, thick black eyebrows, black lips, and a mouth full of sharp teeth. He wore a white high-collar suit, a black bow tie, and a red undershirt with white stripes. He also had a wide-brimmed white top hat, with a purple snake and red apple over a red band on a small table beside his throne, with an apple-topped black cane that matches his hat propped on the table. His eyes are yellow, with black slit pupils resembling those of a snake. He, like his daughter Charlie, has red cheeks. His eyelids are purple, which give the appearance of eyeshadow. Lilith Magni was a tall woman, exceeding both her husband and daughter in height, with pale skin, long blonde hair, and silverish eyes. Her most distinguishing physical characteristic is a pair of horns, a trait her husband, ironically, lacked. She wore a tight black dress with black gloves that went up to her forearms, connected with a see-through mesh with a pearl necklace around her neck. Man seriously seemed to like white and black for some reason, Naruto thought as he swallowed a lump in his throat. Charlie, I see you brought home a new pet. Lucifer smiled down at the child, but Naruto growled at being called a pet, and unconsciously flared some of his power, revealing his red aura, making Lucifer smile as Lilith chuckled. Now dear, what are you doing with this cute little thing? Lilith asked as she looked at her daughter from her throne. Charlie puffed out her chest in pride. I saw him on the street and something told me I want him to have a better life, and so I'm adopting him as my son as of today, Charlie declared proudly, making Naruto's eyes bug out from the sudden announcement. Huh. Flashback end. That was when I learned that Charlie was the princess of hell, literally, and that the two on the thrones were the king and queen, Naruto thought as he continued to scroll through his phone. Charlie, with her big heart, wanted to do the best for others, but for some reason she felt the need to bring me into her family as her son. Then she met Vaggie, and after they started dating, met me, and we are close. Naruto grew up at this point as the known grandson of the king and queen, but in the eyes of others Naruto was a filthy stray that was picked up by the princess. In time he proved them all wrong and became one of the most feared demons in all of hell, and someone that even the king had come to respect due to his strength and talent. Apparently even among his own kind he is unique, with powers that he couldn't explain and even a healing factor that is stronger than most. At this point, he just chalked it up to who he was as a human and left it at that. After all these years, he had forgotten his previous life. You can't have a pole here. It defeats the purpose of having you out of that life, Naruto heard, making him see Angel, who was holding a large pole that could touch the ceiling, and Charlie keeping him from installing it. Well, I don't see you two compromising with me on certain things. I mean seriously, this place makes me stir crazy, Angel rebuked as he kept trying to install the STRPR pole. Naruto looked and saw the three arguing and finally having enough, for his hearing was sensitive due to him being a hellhound. How about this? Angel, no DRGS and sex in exchange. I'll put a bar into the hotel and you can drink in the afternoons if you behave, Naruto offered, horrifying Vaggie and Charlie at the notion of installing a bar. Charlie and Vaggie, you have to keep the bar open to him and others in the afternoon, that way they have something they can indulge in and they stay on the premises. The three looked at him, and while Charlie looked to consider it, Vaggie looked against it, but Angel was all for it. Hey, I can live with that. As long as I can drink here, I'll give up the other two things. He turned away from the girls, dropping the STRPR pole. It would help keep them under control, Charlie whispered, her hand on her chin, her finger tapping it. Fine, we can at least do that, but please don't abuse this privilege. Vaggie was shocked to hear Charlie allow alcohol as Angel cheered in victory. But, what, Charlie, we can't, Vaggie attempted to build an argument. Vaggie, Angel was right. Forcing him to go completely without some vices would most likely make rehabilitation more difficult. Allowing this one thing for now could be a step in the right direction. Charlie explained, deep down not really wanting it, but understanding that it was important. I am not really for it, but I will support Charlie's decision, Vaggie said in defeat. Naruto saw the three agree, one reluctantly, and him finally sighing before his phone rang as someone was calling him. Naruto checked the ID, his face faltering. Tex. Ah, the bodyguard for the pop star, Naruto thought with a scowl. Man, I really don't want to deal with her today. Sighing, Naruto answered his phone. Hey Tex. Hey Naruto, can you do me a favor, man? Depends. Who's asking for the favor, you or your boss? It's me, man. Don't worry, she don't know I'm doing this yet. Listen, boss has a big concert coming up, and while I'm confident I can handle it by myself, the studio wants to make sure nothing gets out of hand, so they want me to hire someone else on staff that can handle this. Vortex explained in a calm tone. I checked with the agency and most are busy or doing their own thing at this point or on break. So can you lend me a hand, man? Naruto sighed and rubbed his neck. The agency knows I don't work for cheap, right? Oh, no doubt, and don't worry, the boss won't try anything. She is too busy with work to get distracted with you, trust me. Vortex reassured. All right, when is the concert? Tomorrow, thanks for the help. We'll be in the Greed Ring, you know the venue? Vortex asked his friend. Yeah, I do. Let's just make sure things go smoothly. Last time I worked for her, I almost got raped. Naruto grumbled, the word rap being heard by Vaggie, increasing her interest in his conversation. Yeah, don't worry about it, man. The agency will make sure that don't happen again. Vortex stated. Besides, I'll be there to help you escape if she does make an attempt. Be sure, I'll see you tomorrow. Naruto hung up and looked, seeing Vaggie's confusion. Who was that, sweetie? Naruto internally cringed. That sounded so wrong from someone that didn't look any older than him. A job request. Tex is asking for some help at a concert that might get a little out of control, so he wants some extra hands to help keep their star safe. Naruto explained to Vaggie, who signaled for Charlie to come over. Wait, the concert, that is? Yeah, it is her. Charlie glared, her sclere becoming red in her anger. No, I forbid it after what happened last time. Naruto rolled his eyes, bristling her anger. Relax, I managed to escape last time with my pants, she just had my shirt. Naruto shrugged. Regardless, she has called me to buy your services as her permanent bodyguard. You'll never do that, and I'm tied to the hotel. Don't worry, I'm just keeping idiots from the stage and their star from getting hurt the minute the show is over, and I'm paid, I'll leave no sweat. Naruto stated his position in this contract. GRR. Naruto just shook his head. Relax, it'll blow over, Mom. Naruto said nonchalantly. Charlie relaxed at this, as Naruto knew the only way to get her to chill is to call her Mom. It is a rare gesture at times, so he does this to get her to chill out. Okay, but call me if something goes wrong, do you understand, or Vaggie got it? Yeah. Naruto walked up the stairs. I'm going to get some sleep, wake me if something comes up. And no, it's not an invitation to my bed, Angel. Okay, night, sweetie, Charlie said as she waved him good night as Angel grumbled. Vaggie rolled her eyes with a smile on her face. Charlie was such a doting mother that it's nuts. I have no doubt things were going to get interesting, Vaggie thought as she sat down. Knock, knock. Charlie went to the door and opened it, revealing a tall demon with deer antlers wearing a red pinstripe suit, his face in a large smile that revealed his yellowed teeth. Hell, Charlie shut the door in his face, turning to the side in confusion. She opened the door again, seeing the demon still there. Lo, he continued before Charlie shut the door again. Hey, Vaggie. Yeah? The radio demon is here, Charlie said, pointing at the door as she wore a smile mimicking the radio demon's smile. Naruto's room. In his bed, Naruto let out a sigh. My life, my choices. That is all that matters to me, he mumbled as he closed his eyes. Thinking back to a conversation he had with Lucifer, he could only smile a bit as he fell asleep. Flashback. Child, I have to ask, why are you so insistent on doing things your way and not the way others want? Lucifer asked at dinner once. Lucifer and Lilith had invited Naruto, and Naruto alone, to eat with them. Naruto, age 8, had only known them for 2 years, and was still very respectful to them. Simple Lord Magni, when I was alive everything was decided for me, who I can love, who I can talk to, who gets to beat me, how long I starve, who got to molest me, and even when I was allowed to die. Naruto said after swallowing the food in his mouth, his words making Lilith and Lucifer quirk an eyebrow, neither really bothered by them. But in this new world, I decide how I live. No one will take that from me again. If I want to kill someone, I will. I will steal what I want, buy what I want, love who I want, and die how I want. My choice, I will never give that up. What about Charlie? I see you bend backwards for her literally? Lilith asked as she sipped a large glass of wine. I want to see her happy. If being her son, killing people that threaten her, and helping her with the redemption thing makes her happy, then so be it. As long as I get to see her smile, that is all that matters to me, as that is something I will cherish forever. Naruto stated with conviction, a fire in his eyes as he looked at the king and queen. That is my answer, Lady Magni. Lucifer and Lilith smiled at his answers, each reaching for his hand. Welcome to the family, Naruto, Lucifer said with a chuckle at the shocked look on Naruto's face. Flashback end. Naruto dozed off, not knowing the minute he awakes things in the hotel will have changed. For better or worse, we shall see. I effing hate waking up early, Naruto thought groggily as he pulled the blanket over his face, not wanting the light to wake him. Naruto was not a morning person, far from it. Even at the earliest ages, he hated waking up in the morning. More so, Charlie was the first person to greet him in the morning as a child and always was guiding him through the castle. Now though, it is just that they are nestled in an area with tons of violence, explosions, and nasty smells that he didn't want to know what they were coming from. Guess I'll get up now, Naruto thought sadly. He had to throw off the blanket and started to get ready for the busy day ahead of him. After all, the concert will be in the Circle of Greed, meaning it would take me a few hours to reach the circle and get set up with the studio. Once dressed and his hair brushed, Naruto walked out of his room and down the hall, which was right across from Vaggie and Charlie's room. They had the largest room on the top floor and insisted on him having a room right next to them. Knowing better than arguing, he agreed. Seems like she is tired. Guess yesterday was pretty tiring, and Angel being a hassle yesterday didn't help. Naruto shook his head and walked down the stairs to the foyer. He yawned and looked around the room and was alarmed. For one thing, the entire room seemed to change drastically from what Charlie had set up. The place had more of a bar theme going for it and seemed to look like it got decked out with some classy aesthetics. Stuff that looked more 20s if he was being honest. Good thing Charlie made me study up on history for the last few hundred years. But this can't be Charlie's work. I mean, she is more modern in taste with all butterflies and SHT, Naruto thought as he moved over to the bar area, wanting to make himself a drink before Charlie woke up. Hey kid, a tired, gruff voice mumbled. Turning to the voice, Naruto saw a black and white cat demon sitting at the bar drinking down a bottle in his hand that read, cheap booze. The demon was wearing top hat and a bow around his neck. Husker? Naruto asked as he realized the demon. Hey Naruto, long time, huh? He said with a small smile. Though he could not feel real happiness, he could express emotions when he could as Naruto chuckled. Yeah, it has been, not since you hired me for that little excursion at the casino. Naruto mentioned as he remembered their first meeting, which the cat demon laughed a bit as he did as well. Yeah, that was one hell of a night. You still got to tell me how you won all those games. I mean, you even beat the house cheating outright. Husker asked before he took a deep swig of his cheap booze. Not sure what to say, man, but I'm curious, Naruto laughed before he raised an eyebrow. How are you here, man? He smiled cockily. You here for that redemption? Husker snorted, him redemption. That is a good joke if he heard one. Nah, I got called here by some effing asshole that decided to use me as guy for the front desk. He took another swig of his booze. Other than that, the fucker dragged me away from my poker game when I was about to win the whole effing pot. Naruto's brow furrowed as he went into deep in thought. An ability to teleport people. He thought before a single person came to mind. Can't be him, can it? How much was the pot, man? The cat growled as he remembered all the cash he would have won. 150,000, man. Can you effing believe that SHT? Husker nearly shouted, slamming his bottle into the bar, nearly breaking it. Naruto shook his head. Yeah, that sucks, man, but you mentioned someone summoned you here? Naruto asked, silently hoping it wasn't who he thought it was. Husker rolled his eyes as he leaned into the bar. Who else could do it? He asked coldly. making Naruto's hopes take a nosedive. Yeah, that red Azul decided that I was going to help with this hotel out of charity and for some booze. He basically told me to work reception and the bar, but apparently, I can only serve to people during the afternoon and certain amounts. Kind of a crock of SHT if you ask me. He took another swig, but investigated his bottle seeing it empty. He threw it into the trash. Red Azul definitely sounds like him, making Naruto's ears lay flat as he gripped his head as he could feel a headache start to form. You mean Alastor? Husker raised an eyebrow, but then had a look of recognition. Right, you weren't here when he showed up or summoned us. But yeah, it was him. Naruto groaned at this information. Charlie, did you make a deal with him? If so, that was very, very stupid thing to do. He thought before he looked at Husker. Summoned us? Who else? Naruto stopped when he heard humming from the other room. Then rapid movement, more humming, and then the sound of rapid movement enters the foyer, revealing Niffty. Gasp a man, she screamed, happy to see a man as she sped across the room to grab Naruto, only to be kept at a distance when Naruto's foot connected with her chest. Oh, mommy likes it rough, Tilda. How annoying, but at least it is one of the less annoying overlords in this day and age. Husker mumbled as he saw Naruto's face contort into annoyance. This is Niffty, she will be the maid, I think. I can see that. Naruto replied as he kept Niffty at leg distance, avoiding her grabby hands. Ah, Naruto, how nice of you to say about your dear friend, Naruto heard, his body becoming tense enough to fully kick Niffty across into the other room, causing a loud crash and chicken noises to go off as his fur stood on end. Hearing the radio-static voice, Naruto turned his head and narrowed his eyes. Alastor? Naruto said in a gravely tone. Standing behind him was a red-dressed man with red eyes, horns on his head, a microphone staff, and twisted golden smile. Alastor, I'm surprised that you would be interested in the hotel in any way, shape, or form. Naruto said as he turned his head. Husker, mind me pouring my usual? Sure thing, kid. Husker said as he moved a few feet away to get Naruto's drink prepared. Alastor laughed as Naruto ignored him. Oh, come now, we're both overlords here. Alastor said in a friendly tone as he walked up and put a hand on Naruto's shoulder, only for Naruto to remove it with a tight grip, making Alastor chuckle. You mean you're an overlord? I never claimed to be one. Naruto stated clearly as he pointed out the window to an explosion in the distance. All the turf I own is under the watch of that explosive Cyclops. True. Alastor laughed a bit before looking Naruto in his eyes. But we both know that when it comes to being one, you're more than qualified compared to the rest of the so-called overlords. Like that month's Watcher Vox. He growled and his smile tightened with his 1920s slang as his insult. You really need to let go of that grudge, man. Naruto said as Husker pushed his drink forward, scotch on the rocks, which Naruto took in his hand. I mean, you know you could kill that fool if it comes down to it, so why is it such a big deal to try and outdo him? Naruto downed the scotch. Oh, dear doggy, he pulled on Naruto's cheek, making him growl, before releasing and walking away from him. Naruto downed his drink and motioned Husk for another one. Why would I do that? The cat demon just made another, knowing how tense Naruto is with this red freak here and wanting to do what he can to keep them from fighting. Pretty sure those two would tear most of hell down, or at least Pentagram City down in their battle. Yes, I do hate him. Vox is nothing more than a nuisance to me. I could slaughter that stupid fool, but he is more of a numbers person, and while I'm confident I can beat them all, I know that he has more than enough resources that it would be costly and annoying. Alastor laughed with his eyes dilating and becoming clock faces at the thought of slaughtering Vox. Especially since it just gets me in trouble for doing it too often. Naruto shook his head as he took his second round. Right, Lucifer doesn't like it when the overlords, ones of great power, causing issues in hell, as this just means more work for him and more importantly weakening their overall population due to their bloodshed. Naruto thought as he put the cup down, tapping the glass 3 times, saying he wanted more. So, tell me, dear doggy, what do you think of what I did here? Alastor asked as he returned to normal, his arms outward to show his touch. Naruto looks around the foyer and sighs. Well, you saved me from having to spend money to put a bar in this place, but please refrain from giving Angel anything else other than this bar. Turning his eyes red for a second, Alastor grinned, and his eyes turned into radio dials and his aura screamed to life. We are trying to actually make this legit, and the last thing I need is you tearing this place down just because you get bored. My dear boy, if I wanted to tear this place down, you wouldn't, or did you forget the last time you crossed Lucifer and his family? Naruto said nonchalantly, knowing Alastor could not do anything to him for the lack of respect. For the first time in a while, Alastor lost his smile, before it returned more strained. No, I remember, he said in an angry tone, angrier than when he was talking about Vox. Naruto nodded his head and took a sip of his drink, not downing it this time because he didn't need to be completely intoxicated for work. Good. Naruto took another sip. Now please, keep your bad habits to yourself. Oh, the dear demon laughed. What about you? The hellhound that has made enemies of almost everyone in hell that is not allied to the king or doesn't want to jump your bones. Yeah, well, I'm not exactly indulging in my sins like a certain piece of venison. Naruto snipped. This made Alastor bristle. Want to bet, doggy? Soon both auras flared back to life with Naruto ready to swing with his claws and Alastor summoning his shadows to his side and creating a terrifying situation for most. Husker just hid underneath the bar ready for a brawl to break out, while also drinking another bottle of cheap booze. What the F is going on? Looking over the two, see Vaggie in a nightie and Charlie wearing a black almost see-through nightie. Vaggie was glaring at both men. No effing fighting in the hotel. Alastor stopped and waved his hand at the girls, his smile no longer sinister. Good morning, dears. Don't worry about this. We just had a bit of a, what is it called these days? He tapped his chin before snapping his fingers. A shaft measuring contest, I think it is called. Naruto snorted before turning back to Husker and banging on the table. Husk, it's over, come back up. The cat demon popped up again and started downing his booze with a bored expression. Well, that was anticlimactic, he said angrily as he sat down. I wanted to see some BLD. Naruto smiled and pulled out his phone, typed some stuff into it, and then pointed it directly at Husker. Husk, give me your phone. Why? He asked. Just do it, man, Naruto urged. The cat demon shook his shoulders and did it, a ding sound going off when their phones touched. Looking down, he saw a transfer of $200,000 making his eyes bulge. Consider this an apology for Alastor screwing you in your gambling game and also funds for whatever you need while running the bar here, Naruto stated as he put his phone away. Naruto turned on his stool and finished his drink, giving the glass back to Husker. For the first time, at least to Vaggie and Charlie, the cat demon smiled willingly. Thanks, kid. You were always one of the good ones in hell. Naruto nodded his head and stretched his arms above his head, bending backwards to touch the ground with the top of his head. All right, time to get ready for work. It is going to take a while to get to the greed ring, Naruto said as he snapped back into a standing position, his statement making Charlie growl while Vaggie is trying to calm her down. Naruto said, being turned to Vaggie, who had a concerned look, make sure you stay safe while out there. You know what people out there would do if they found you at the concert. Naruto rolled his eyes. This again, really, Naruto thought before he looked back at Vaggie. Yeah, I know, but don't sweat it. I got this handled, and my job probably is just stopping imps and other demons from rushing the stage and whatnot. Plus, I'll be wearing a hat and glasses keeping her from recognizing me right away. Walking back up the stairs, he saw Charlie stewing. Seems I have to pull out my ultimate weapon, Naruto thought as he approached Charlie. I'll be fine, don't worry, and I'll call if I need anything, Mom. He then leaned down to her and kissed her cheek, making Charlie stiffen with a massive smile. He knows how to manipulate her too well, Vaggie thought as she shook her head, while the others raised an eyebrow at this level of affection from the hellhound as he proceeded up the stairs. Oh, Vaggie, isn't he the sweetest child, Charlie gushed, pulling her hair over her face to hide her blush as she smiled. She really was an overly loving mother. Yeah, he sure is, Vaggie said as she tried to bring down the happy, over-affectionate side of her lover. Naruto walked up the stairs and back into his room, where he changed out of his t-shirt and shorts and put on a classier outfit by his taste. A suit made for fighting. It is exactly what it sounds like. The outfit looked like a suit, black with a red tie and whatnot to make him look professional, but there are hidden elements for the clothing. They were made from breathable elements that allowed him to move around as easy as he would in his other clothing and fight in them as well. They are easy to mend if torn and didn't leave him feeling stiff. Perfect mixture of looking professional and having the ability to fight on short notice if need be. Naruto then pulled out a fire red and orange beanie and put it on his head to help hide his damaged ear and obscure his face a bit. Next, he put on his shades and sighed. Man, such a pain, but hey, I'm getting paid, so this is okay, he said as he looked in his door-sized mirror, checking himself to make sure he had everything on correctly. Diamond tie. Naruto walked down, undoing his tie. Charlie, now coming down from her cloud 9, saw this and approached him. Here, I got it, Charlie said as she took the tie and tied it correctly. Thank you, Mom, Naruto said as he hugged her, her feet no longer touching the ground before he put her down. As he straightened up, he saw Angel had come downstairs and talking to Alastor and flirting with Husker. Naruto could only shake his head. Husker doesn't feel love for anyone or anything other than booze, so he'll be lucky to even get his attention for more than 5 minutes, Naruto thought as he prepared to leave. I'm off. The room turned with Charlie immediately taking some pictures of him in his outfit and him just deadpanning. Really? Of course. I always love seeing my child looking his best, even if it is for that beach, Charlie said, snarling the last bit with a partial transformation. Naruto rolled his eyes behind his shades and waved. Everyone, behave, and that goes double for you, Angel. Hey, what the F? Angel shouted at the lack of trust between them. Naruto chuckled, and after walking out the front door, he saw the white limo ready for him. Hoping into the back, he sighed. Xavier, you mind taking me to the job site? Yes, Sir Lord Magni, Xavier, a honey badger demon, said as he started the car. Naruto deadpanned. Xavier, we have gone over this several times already. I'm not Lord Magni, just Naruto, get that through your head, Naruto stated in mild irritation. The driver chuckled. Of course, Lord Naruto, Xavier replied as he pulled out of the parking and started the long drive to the Ring of Greed. Naruto just rolled his eyes and looked out the window. He really hated royalty status. All the kissing up to and whatnot got old. Well, at least I can watch the crazy SHT in hell on my way to work, Naruto thought as he put some headphones in and started listening to some human world music. Hotel. Not even 10 minutes since Naruto left, Charlie began pacing back and forward, muttering to herself. Alastor thought it was hilarious, so he watched with delight. Niffty was cleaning behind the girl every few minutes while rushing off through the hotel. Husker just rolled his eyes at this and kept on drinking. Angel was surprised to see the normally bubbly and caring owner to be so frantic and angry. Turning to Vaggie, who was just reading a magazine at this point, he poked her side, making her growl. What? She snapped, her bow looking like horns. What's up with the boss lady? Angel replied as he held his hands up. Looking at Charlie, Vaggie just sighed in exhaustion as she closed her magazine. This is common when Naruto goes on jobs, but this one especially has her on edge, Vaggie stated. She just is worried, especially with the person who hired Naruto. Hearing her muttering, Vaggie and the others' sweat dropped. Hearing, Strangle Beach my baby, shouldn't have let him take the job. Just make another do it. Did something happen with the girl that he is going to see? Angel asked as he had not even heard of this woman that had Charlie's knickers in a twist. Vaggie growled in annoyance as she pinched the bridge of her nose. Were you not paying attention yesterday at all? She asked in annoyance. Nah, I was looking for something to eat after you guys agreed to the bar, Angel replied with a casual shrug. Vaggie rolled her eyes and let out a sigh of disgust. Look, it dates back about 3 years ago, Vaggie started to explain, to which Alastor and the others listened in while Charlie was pacing still and seemed to be wearing a path into the carpet. Naruto took a job for this client before being her bodyguard. This was after Naruto got famous and all that jazz. It was considered a goal for anyone to even score him for some work. She ran her hand over her eye and through her hair. The client was on the rise in terms of the pop music scene and considered one of the hottest artists at the time. Huh? Wait, you are saying it is? Vaggie covered his mouth, making him annoyed. She pointed an annoyed look at Charlie, who turned and sweated at the sight of Charlie, almost turning demonic. Don't speak her name, Vaggie warned in a tone that promised death. Angel nodded his head, watching Charlie take some breaths and walk out of the main foyer and back up the stairs with a couple of powerful stomps. Naruto did the job as her guard, but while working out his payment, she got a little frisky with him due to his fame. Apparently his segus appeal as a rising hellhound and, her being a succubus, could see his sexual potential, and finally due to the fact that he is a virgin. Vaggie explained. Hold up, Angel held his hands up. Dog boy is a virgin. At his age? Now this colored the room, surprised, as being a virgin was almost a sin down in hell. More so since Naruto was 24 years old and already the center figure for a lot of reforms in hell and royalty, no less. Basically, he should not be a virgin with all of that in play. Yeah, Naruto has had no interest in sex, and even then, he doesn't like to talk about it to any degree. But this made the succubus want him more, so she tried her luck with him, and all it led to was Naruto leaving the area without his shirt on and running all the way back to the Pride Ring from the Lust Ring. Vaggie stated, remembering the state he was in when he arrived back home that day. So many cuts we had to disinfect. DMN, Angel laughed loudly as he collapsed into an armchair. Most would kill for that kind of attention, so it is kind of funny. Vaggie shook her head. Not for the aftermath, it wasn't. Vaggie replied, shuddering a bit at what happened next. Charlie got called up to sell Naruto's services to her, and Charlie had found out what she tried, and without restraint she gave a very graphic idea of what she would do to her if she ever laid a hand on Naruto again. Since then, both try to avoid talking about her or even mentioning her concerts. The hotel staff nodded and realized there is a reason for the tension, but most didn't care, while Angel now had something new to talk to Cherry about when she came to see him. The virgin hound now, that is a riot, Angel thought as he pulled out his phone and started a tweet. Ring of greed. Note to self, smack Angel when I get home. No idea why, just should, Naruto thought as he stepped out of the limo. Naruto looked at the ring of greed and all it had to offer. More importantly, the arena that he was attending for work. From what he saw, it was bigger than most castles in hell and was solely designed to get as many people in as possible and to have them spend all their money on some stupid show on a massive stage, making it seem grand in design. Yeah, Naruto was not a fan of such places, but he was not being paid to care or give his thoughts. Xavier, come and pick me up the minute I call you, got it? Enjoy your time in the ring and let Charlie know I got here safe, okay? Naruto asked as he patted Xavier's shoulder. Of course, Lord Naruto. Xavier replied, smirking. Naruto growled before he sped off. One day that fucker is going to just call me Naruto, as Lucifer is my witness. Naruto growled, baring his fangs a bit before calming himself down. Walking into the stadium, he saw imps and other minor demons running around working on everything in sight to get the concert ready. Wow, someone just got knifed, Naruto thought as he witnessed a fish-like demon get gutted and looted by a cat demon. Imps were the lowest-ranking demons in hell. Hellhounds are about as highly ranked as them, but thanks to Naruto's popularity that is changing. And they were ranked higher than imps and given the same importance of other demons of minor classes. They were considered worthless and useless, but Naruto knew there is a use for everyone, you just had to look. Oh, good you're here, a female voice said, which was directed at Naruto. Naruto turned to see a slightly taller female imp wearing glasses and wearing a black business suit, being followed by two smaller imps carrying clipboards and coffee. Yeah, I figured I'd get here earlier than normal to let me get a feel for the place, Naruto replied, settling into his business mentality. The woman smiled. That's good, at least someone knows how to be a effing professional people, shouting this to all the workers who either scurried faster or just growled. The woman sighed and motioned Naruto to follow her. Thus he did and was taken into an office at the highest floor looking out over the concert. The two imps next to her set her stuff down on her desk and motioned for Naruto to take a seat in one of the chairs in front of her desk. So? Naruto asked with a sigh. May I learn your name? It's Diane, Diane said as she extended her hand. As Naruto reached out to shake it, one of the two imps rushed to him. Can we get anything for you, sir? They asked with enthusiasm that would be used by a simp. Naruto raised an eyebrow and saw the female imp's eye. Nah, I'm good, but thanks for asking. Putting his hand into his pockets, he pulled out $200 and handed it to the two imps. Why don't you guys go get something to eat while your boss and I talk? The two imps looked at the generous amount of money and then to Diane. Go, you little fuckers. I'll call you two when I need you, Diane stated aggressively, making the two imps take off out of the door, and Naruto laughed. So nice to see more imps running around and doing work these days, Naruto said with a hint of pride. Diane snorted at his statement. Yeah, but down to business. Naruto stared at the Diane. As I'm sure you're aware, Tex called you on my request. Figured, Naruto thought before replying. Yeah, he mentioned that he needed help, which confuses me. Normally, Tex can handle riff-raff and idiots that rush the stage or try to get too close to your star, Diane stated in a professional manner. To ask for my help, that means something is going on that isn't known outside of a few people in the public setting, Naruto said as he laced his fingers together. Any reason for this? Diane smiled before huffing. She stood up from her chair, she took a drink of her coffee and sighed. You're perceptive, and that is the exact reason I want to hire you today. She turned to him. You remember a male pop star called J.K. Pronounced Jackash. Naruto looked at her quizzically. Diane then pulled out an old poster. On it was a red-skinned humanoid demon with thin, muscled arms and torso, due to him being shirtless, revealing several $signs tattoos on him. He wore 70s bell-bottom pants that were tie-dyed, acid green, black, and teal blue. He wore a triangled headband around his short, feathered blonde hair with short horns on the sides of his head, a star painted on his right eye with black circular glasses. On his feet, he wore cowboy boots, white in color with black studs on them forming $signs. In his arms was a guitar coated in diamonds, causing a glistening effect as he had a joint in his mouth. Under his feet was a mountain of men and women. J.K. The incubus pop star, performing at the Ring of Gluttony for his Lust and Love tour. Buy your tickets now or miss out on the reveal of J.K. new trainee, Verasa Mayday. He looks like he is trying to be David Bowie, Jimi Hendrix, John Lennon, Paul Stanley, and Elvis, Naruto thought with a deadpan at the amalgamation on the poster. He had seen weird SHT in hell, so that is a possibility, and learned of the human musicians from Charlie. Jack Cash, stage name J.K. I remember him, well, was told about him by my family. Naruto nodded his head as he put the poster down. He was a big deal back in the 90s, wasn't he? Diane frowned as she hit the poster, nearly breaking the table it was on. Yeah, and he used to be one of our big cash grabbers back in the day, as well as being Verasika's vocal coach, and then he hired her as a backup singer. But she was so good they were a duet for a while, Diane informed Naruto as she lifted her hand to rub her eyes and took another drink. Surely you heard what he did 2 years ago? You mean he killed several people in his agency and murdered that up-and-coming star because he was becoming more popular than him? Naruto stated nonchalantly, moving his shoulders and arms in the wave motion. Of course, I heard about it. Also, didn't he get extremely pissed when people called him Jackass, not J.K. Exactly, Diane growled, smashing the drink against the table, destroying the piece of furniture. After that effing incident, I made it clear our agency would no longer endorse in his stupid SHT, but he didn't care. He thought he could succeed without a studio to back him. She smiled darkly. He found out fast that is not going to be the case, especially since he didn't have the means and resources to succeed in this capacity. True, Naruto knew from personal history, unless one had a personal backer, chances are you're not going to last long in hell, which is why new pop stars appear all the time. But the good ones are rare and stay on top for more than a decade. So, what does this have to do with your star though and my hiring? Naruto asked, feeling like he knew where this conversation might go. You see, Verasika, our star, is having this massive concert, and if it is a mass success like we think it will be, she is going to finally bury that fool to the point that he will never recover. Diane exclaimed, really wanting this to work out. But sadly, her biggest issue is that we know that JK is coming to murder today. We need to prevent him from succeeding and, if necessary, killing the DMN fool once and for all. Turning her head to him. That is the real reason we are hiring you. JK has some power and some followers still, so if you were able to get rid of him and his followers, then that would be a big boon for us. Okay? Naruto sighed. This job is such a pain now. So, the goal is to kill JK if he shows up, and if he has followers, kill them too, and don't disrupt the show at all cost. Exactly. Diane said as she turned to him after burning the poster of one of their former stars, the table remnants being charred. Can I count on you? You know my rates for jobs like this are not cheap, especially since this puts the hotel in the crosshairs of things if something goes wrong. No? Naruto asked, raising an eyebrow. Diane smiled, pushing her glasses up her nose, leaning back as she metaphorically looked down on him with a confident smirk. I know, which is why I promise you this. I will pay the amount as required and make sure anything that can come back to you from JK or his followers will be buried and done. Diane stated confidently. But if he proves to be more than you thought and desire more compensation. Diane took her glasses off and seductively pushed them against her lips. I am willing to give my services, she stated seductively. Naruto swallowed a lump in his throat, and before he could sweat, he cracked his neck. That won't be necessary, he replied as he stretched his limbs. I guess it is time to earn my check for the day. Hopefully I can avoid any unnecessary problems. As for sex, nah, I am good. Diane pouted before returning to her professional persona when she put her glasses back on. Let's hope, but if you happen to keep JK head intact, please bring it to me. I have a perfect place to put it and feel superior to that effing loser. Diane asked as she sat down. Naruto rolled his eyes and walked out of the office and sighed. Man, my job is going to be complicated, I can feel it. He groaned as he walked down the hall and smelled a familiar scent and quickly turned on his heels and went the other way. I will not deal with Verasa if I can prevent it, he thought with paranoia. Time skip. I want your ugly, I want your disease. I want your everything as long as it's free. I want your love, 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 love. I want your love. The concert was in full swing. Verasa had the masses in her grasp. People were cheering for her, lusting for her, and a few tried to rush the stage for her as she sang Bad Romance by Lad. Muffle sound, disc scratch, stab. Bad Romance, an original song Verasa wrote herself. The succubus is dressed up for the event. In her normal white outfit of 0 and stars, her hot pink skin on display with her hourglass figure, and her horns shined up for the event. One shorter than the other, but he figured that was a fashion statement more than anything else. On top of that, she had pink eyes with yellow sclere, pink hair, and heart-shaped tail. Overall, he could understand her sexual appeal. Tex prevented people from getting on the stage by knocking them out or throwing them back into the crowd if necessary. Verasa's followers are busy having some fun with the idiots in the crowd they could reach, and in minutes the whole thing almost became an orgy. Naruto's nose was overwhelmed by the lust and the pure scent of sex that was permeating all around him. It was overwhelming, and honestly it was very annoying. He was wearing an earpiece to communicate with other officers in case JK appeared. So far the concert was going well, and nothing seems to be out of place, Naruto thought as he looked over the crowd from his position. Maybe that JK isn't coming. Would help him save face, I guess. Naruto, can you hear me? Someone broke in through the back, an officer shouted in the earpiece, nearly bursting Naruto's eardrum. Just my effing luck, Naruto touched his earpiece in his hidden ears. Got it? Do we know where they went? They are heading for the stage. You got to stop JK. The Agile is really here. Got it. Naruto sniffed around and found an unusual scent in the area, and within a few seconds saw the overrated and ruined pop star charging through the back curtains with a maniacal look on his face. The man looked like most incubus he had seen in his life. Red skin, horns that are black, and wearing revealing clothing. However, unlike other incubi, Jack Cash let himself go, which made his pants and shirt stretch tight across his body. He no longer had his thin, muscled look he had during his career. He had gained a massive pig belly and his limbs looked like oversized sausages with stubby fingers on his hands. His blonde hair was a long tangled mess that was clearly cut by Jack himself due to how crude it was. His face looked like a balloon full of wet sand, about to burst with rage from the look in his eyes. That was the thing that bothered Naruto. Jack's eyes were almost completely red, given that most have gold or yellow eyes. Dude probably is full of DRGS right now, Naruto thought as he took notice of Jack's arm, which had a rubber strip wrapped around it with infected injection holes in his elbow. Naruto stood in front of the entrance to the stage, preventing Jack from moving forward. "Sorry buddy, you're not getting to Verasika." The man growled, foaming at the mouth literally. "Get the F out of my way, you effing mutt. She has to die for me to rise again," Jack shouted as he pointed at Naruto. Naruto rolled his eyes at this threat. Effing drama queen, Naruto thought as he prepared to fight. Dude, your popularity sunk because you sug. No one is interested in a has-been who can't come up with new material on his own. Even if you succeed, no one would listen to you now as, you're a fat ass. F you, the incubus screamed, running toward Naruto, moving faster than Naruto expected from an incubi his size. "I'm big-boned." Jack tackled Naruto and drove him onto the stage, getting the attention of the crowd and Verasika, who is surprised to see both men there. Jack let out a guttural roar as he punched Naruto, knocking his beanie fell off as his glasses broke from the tackle. "It's him," Verasika smiled and licked her lips, making the fans scream out in greater lust and excitement. Naruto, on the other hand, was pushing the incubus off him after the tackle and putting some distance between them. The incubi, surprisingly, was agile enough to jump off the floor and drew a knife which seemed to be coated in some purple liquid. Poison, huh? How weak, Naruto thought in annoyance. "Move, dog, I will not be denied my fame. I will rise again and stand at the top like I was always meant to," Jack declared. "Yep, definitely annoying," Naruto sighed. "You're a dime a dozen. Female stars last longer than male ones, and that is only because most of them have greater sex appeal to the other opposite and same gender." Verasika blushed, but seeing her former teacher, she is annoyed. He is brandishing a knife against her future dog, and worse, he is causing problems at her concert. "That beach, she took everything," Jack screamed, his voice cracking as he teared up. "All she had to do was serve me and I would have given her everything. But she had to get bigger, she had to get more popular, and then take my place as the top star in all of hell. I won't allow it. I'm the true king of hell." Naruto frowned. Wow, the drugs must be good if he is this high on himself, Naruto thought before shaking his head. "Well, unfortunately for you, I'm not going to let you get close to her." He smiled as he saw his insults were getting under the former pop star's skin. "Come on, jackass Tilda," Naruto taunted. Jack saw red. "It's pronounced jackash," Jack shouted as he charged him and slammed the knife into his chest. Verasika is shocked and furious, but hears Naruto cough out a laugh. "Jay, just wow, man, you really are dumb as F. No wonder you lost fans so fast." Naruto coughed out as the broken poison-covered knife blade hit the ground, his skin not pierced. Naruto swiped his claws, beheading the pop star, letting his body fall to the ground, spurting out BLD all over the stage. "Dumbasses have to know by this point I'm immune to poisons if that even got me, but I am strong enough to stop a knife." Naruto coughed as he picked up the head and the body, the large crowd cheering as he quickly dragged them off the stage. He dropped the body and pulled down his shirt enough to lift his fur to see some swelling on his chest. "Though the force of your attack still hurts. Going to bruise a bit?" Naruto grumbled. "Hello, honey," a sensual voice. Naruto's whole body froze, fur standing on end as he turned his head to see Verasika standing there with a smile on her face. "So nice of you to protect little old me. Want me to reward you later?" she said flirtatiously, winking at him. Naruto paled, memories of their past encounter coming to mind and some memories from his own time as a child toy in his human life. He disappeared in a flash, leaving Verasika to pout. He got away. She shrugged her shoulders and went back to the stage to sing. "Oh well, I'll catch him sooner or later, it is only a matter of time. Phew-foo-foo." Naruto felt a tingle up his spine. "I should ask Charlie if I can install more locks in my room. Windows. No, around the entire hotel, Naruto thought as he returned to his post as Verasika started singing Poker Face, another song written by Lad. Asterisk stab, disc scratch, muffled screaming, stab asterisk written by Verasika. End of the concert. Thank you so much for this lovely gift, Diane said happily as she looked at the head of her former client, and the anguished look was so delightful for her. Yeah, so concert went off without a hitch, and I don't think too many people in the crowd noticed me killing JK $. Naruto replied as he was looking around in mild paranoia. Oh, who gives a shit? The concert still was a success, and even if someone noticed, they wouldn't care as the cameras were focused on Verasika like normal, Diane stated as she put the head on the wall and admired it while having turned the corpse's body into a table. She sure held a grudge against someone that killed one of their stars and tried to murder a former student and their top moneymaker, and she wanted to enjoy this. So, my money? Naruto said in slight desperation to leave the building. Verasika could be lurking anywhere. Diane pulled out her phone and typed into it before Naruto's phone dinged, signaling he got his cash. Thank you again, and hopefully we can do more business in the near future, Diane said happily as she gave Naruto her card. I got yours. Naruto waved at the woman and walked out the door and sighed. Hopefully, I don't have to do anything like this for Verasika again, he thought before he looked up and smiled, his anxiety calming down. Yo dog, Vortex said as he saw Naruto smiling at his friend. Hey, Tech's concert was a hit. The gray and black furred hellhound laughed at this joke. He was slightly taller than Naruto and more muscular and with more scarring on his ears and over his eye, but that came with the territory their kind had, especially as a celebrity's bodyguard bouncer. True dude, some hellhounds are planning to hit up Giovanni's in the Pride Ring soon. Want to join us? Vortex asked as he wanted to party with his best friend. Naruto waved his hand as if to push it aside. Not today, man, but when you guys hit it up later let me know. Naruto politely refused. Besides, after getting hit with that knife, I want this swelling to go down, and dealing with your boss has me on edge. Sure thing, Vortex said as the fist bumped. Clapped claws gave a one-arm hug with each other. Tell your girl thanks for the jacket. I wear it when I can, Naruto said as he did appreciate the jacker Vortex's girl had made for him. Will do, man. Catch you around. Vortex laughed before they bid each other good night. Naruto walked away from one of his best friends and texted Xavier. Bring the car around, I'm ready to head home. Yes, Lord Naruto. Stop that minute. Annoying driver. So alright folks, that's all for today. Stay tuned for part 2. Do subscribe, like and share for more such videos. Also check out the story and author Crowfeast on FANFICTIONnet. Press the bell icon to be notified first on release. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.